Hello and welcome to my studio. Today we are going to talk about Pythagoras. A little bit of some background about him. Pythagoras. And the information I'm sharing from you is from a long time ago, from my studies in mathematics, it's from my professors, it's from the different books that I've read. Pythagoras was born around 500 BC in an island called not Samos but Somos, an island called Somos. This is an Aegean island of Samos. When he was very young, so the story goes, Pythagoras used to travel a lot, and from what I understand, he went to Egypt, Phoenicia, Babylonia. Is it Babylon or Babylonia? But he traveled a lot. And when he returned home to Somos around the age of 50, he was banned and he had to migrate to Croton, which is in the southeast, I believe, of Italy, the country that we know today as Italy. And there he founded a school, and his followers, his students, were called Pythagoreans. And Pythagoras believed that in order for a person to be considered educated, they had to be, they ought to have studied geometry, theory of numbers, music, and astronomy. Astronomy. His theory of numbers. And what else did we have? What else did I say? Geometry. And this is around the Middle Ages when all of this was happening. And about the same time, there were three more areas of study that were introduced. And the areas that were added was logic, grammar, and rhetoric. All right, and so in those times, if you were not read in these areas, you were not considered educated. Pythagoreans were considered a kind of a cult because of their unique ways of looking at numbers. They believed that numbers were sacred, and for example, sacred and that they had a special connection with the essence of the universe. For example, they thought the number one stood for reason or absolute truth or truth. Number 2 stood for woman or opinion. 3, man or harmony, 4, justice, and 5, marriage. And so as you can tell, they had an interesting relationship with numbers. I'm not a historian, so please correct me if I've made any mistakes in this presentation, but we'll get it right someday. Here is where historians disagree. And this is concerning Pythagoras' death. Some historians claim Pythagoras was killed during the war against his followers and his students. The story says that his area was set on fire and he might have died during that attack. Another story says that the mobs chased him across a field of beans, or they were going to. I'm not exactly sure which one. But Pythagoras decided to surrender. Can you guess why he didn't want to run through the field of beans? From what I understand, Pythagoras and his followers, even the students, believed that beans were sacred. And that is where I will stop about the history of Pythagoras. If you know any interesting fact about Pythagoras or his followers, please do share it. I would really love to hear and learn about it. I hope you're having a lovely day, because why not?